power in your resistance, your inductance. We have discussed these two. For the continuation, I am just repeating very quickly. So here, average power in your resistance in one cycle when AC source connected across this resistance. This we have seen here E equal to E naught sin omega t. In the distance, we know there is no phase difference. So it is E naught sin omega t and I naught sin omega t, no phase difference. Small heat, it is say E naught I naught dt. Why we are not taking say I naught square R dt or E naught square upon R dt? Reason behind here, we are interested in voltage and current both. Voltage and current both. So putting the value here, E naught I naught, E naught here sin omega t, E naught sin omega t, and I naught also sin omega t. So it is sin square omega t. For total heat, we are going to integrate from 0 to t in one cycle. So we have to replace this sin square omega t. Sin square omega t can be replaced as 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2 by half angle formula. If you put it here, I naught upon 2 and integrating 1 minus cos 2 omega t dt 0 to t. E naught I naught upon 2, and here 2 can be written as root 2 and it is 1 dt, so t 0 to t, and this is cos so sin 2 omega t upon 2 omega 0 to t. And we know this one is say ERS, this is IRMS, here this is t minus 0, so t, it will become 0 we know. So simply heat divided by time, it is what? Power average. So heat divided by time power average, ERMS, IRMS. Any doubt here? We have discussed this already. Okay. So now come to your inductance. Instead of your resistance, we are taking here inductance. Like this. In inductance, current is lagging behind the voltage by 90 degree. Here we know we have derived this relation also mathematically. This is the current which is lagging behind. So we can take say work done in small time interval. If you put the value here like say E can be written as E naught sin omega t and I naught sin omega t minus 90 dt. Here we know the formula here sin omega t, and what is this? Sin 90 minus theta plus, so sin omega t minus 90 minus cos theta. So we can write here in place of minus cos omega t. If you multiply and divide with 2 and integrating 0 to t, we are getting the total work done. E naught I naught upon 2, and it can be written as by half angle formula, that is sin 2 omega t dt, integrating from this. Now integration of sin is minus cos, so we can write here minus plus, and this one will be cos 2 omega t, and it is 1 by 2 omega by substitution method. You put the value here E naught I naught upon say 4 omega and cos 2 into 2 pi by t upper limit minus cos 0 lower limit, cos 0 is minus 1, cos 4 pi plus 1, so it will become 0. That is why here power average will be work and divided by time, we are getting the 0. So here we are getting the 0 because of this power average is also 0. We have discussed this also. Any doubt in this discussion? We have discussed this. Now we are taking say pure capacitance. We have not discussed this one, but it is as simple as L. Here we are taking say capacitance C, and it is say current is leading to voltage. So we are putting this value sin omega t plus pi, and we know sin 90 plus theta is what? It is cos theta. So here we are getting this one is plus cos theta. So the same thing, 2 sin omega t cos omega t, integration of this minus, so it is a plus here, minus here, 0. So whether it is minus 0 or plus 0, both are same thing. It means whatever is the discussion derivation for the power average in case of pure inductance, the same derivation for the capacitance also. Here the only difference here is the current is leading to voltage by 90 degree. In case of inductance, this current is lagging behind the voltage by 90 degree. So this is the only difference. We are getting the same result. It means for pure inductance and for pure capacitance, there is no power wastage or loss. So there is no power loss. In one cycle, there is no power loss in case of pure inductance and pure capacitance. But in case of resistance, yes, there is a power loss. Okay, got it? Any doubt in this? We have repeated the same thing, but in case of capacitance, only this is the difference, otherwise the derivation is same. So minus 0 or plus 0, we are getting the same thing. 0 means what? There is no effect of minus or plus. So in this derivation of power, any doubt is there, you tell me. Got it? Now we are taking here series RLC circuit, power average in series RLC circuit. In series RLC circuit, we have taken power average one by one, but now we are taking the power in series RLC circuit. This is say R, this is say L, this is C, and we are connected here the AC source. But about the current here, in this series RLC circuit, we can take the current like this, I naught sin omega t. It can be plus also, it can be minus also. Now we have to see whether inductance is dominating. It is minus something, not 90, because it's not pure, it is image here RLC. So it is minus 5. Or maybe this capacitance is dominating, plus 5. So you can take anything either plus 5 or minus 5. It cannot be 0 because of this. It cannot be 90 lagging leading, but it is a mixture of RLC series combination. So 5 cannot be 0 degree or 90 degree, but something, say phi, either plus or minus. In this derivation, we can take either plus or minus, no problem. In numerical problem, it will be clear whether it is negative phi or positive phi. By calculation, we can find out, but here you can take either minus or plus, no problem. 100% no problem. So putting the value of E and I, putting the value of E means here E naught sin omega t, and what is I? I naught. So we are writing here I naught also, and sin omega t minus phi dt. So this is the work done expression E naught I naught sin omega t, and we know this formula here sin A minus B, sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. If it is plus, it comes plus here, then minus, it comes minus here, remains the same sin A cos B plus minus cos A sin B. It means if it is plus, plus sign, if it is minus, minus sign. Using this formula of trigonometry, we are opening this sin A minus B. A is like omega t, B is like phi. Using this formula of minus here, so we are minus taking the minus here, sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. So we are writing here sin A means here sin omega t, and B means phi, so cos phi minus cos A means omega t, and sin B means sin phi dt. You open the bracket here, E naught I naught omega t means sin square omega t cos phi and dt, minus E naught I naught sin omega t cos omega t. So we can write here sin omega t cos omega t dt. It is a sin phi. Up to this equation, you can say, suppose this equation number 1, you just tell me any doubt. We have done nothing here, simply by opening this formula here is sin A minus B, sin A cos B minus cos A sin B, that's all, and we have converted into two parts by opening the bracket. So after equation 1, there must not be any doubt. Doubt is only this, you must know the formula of sin A plus minus B. Again repeating, sin A plus B means sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. If minus sign is there, you put minus sign here. So simple. Anyway, any doubt is there up to this, you just tell me, otherwise I will integrate it to find out the total work done in one cycle. So we are integrating both the parts here like this, and just multiply and divide with 2, 0 to t, and it will be as we have done in case of resistance pair, and this we have done in case of pure inductance and pure capacitance. If you know all the three, we know this also. Okay. So in first case, in pure resistance, this term sin square omega t, that's why I have repeated this. Today also, sin square omega t can be replaced with, yes, anybody? Sin square omega t must be replaced with by using the half angle formula. Anybody? Repeat it 2-3 times. So it can be written 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2. 2 comes here. 2 comes here. 0 to t dt, and this term will be E naught I naught sin phi upon 2. Using this formula again, half angle formula for sine. So we are writing here sine 2 omega t dt. We know the derivation of this. We know this also. First of all, just tell me. Just now we have repeated 2 times. What is the integration of sine 2 omega t? Integration, not the differentiation. It is E naught I naught of sine phi upon 2, and integration means sine means cos, so minus means what? Plus here cos 2 omega t upon 2 omega. We can write it here also 2 omega. Putting the limit 0 to t, it will become what? The same thing, 4 omega, and cos 2 into 2 pi by capital T upper limit minus cos lower limit. It is minus 1. It is what? Cos 4 pi plus 1. So again the same thing, it is 0. It is 0. We are seeing just now. And here if we integrate this one, one means dt, so t here 0 to t, and this will be sine 2 omega t by 2 omega 0 to t. It is also 0. It is also 0 by putting the values here. Sine 4 pi is also 0, sine 0 is also 0, so this part is also 0. Only this part is there. So total work done will be E naught upon root 2. We can write here 2 can be written as root 2. So E naught upon root 2 is what? ERMS. I naught upon root 2 is IRMS. Cos phi also, and t, if you divide with t, you will get say this is the power average. So power average formula here is ERMS, IRMS, cos phi. Cos phi is called here power factor. Power factor. Okay. For this year, this coming session in board examination, this power factor will not come. But in the derivation of power, you have to write it. The question directly, power factor, what is power factor, what is fact like, this question will not come because this is deleted from the course for this year only. But for this derivation and for numerical, you must know. So CBSE has deleted this in numerical and derivation. It cannot be deleted. So you have to learn this. Directly definition of power factor, what is the effect of this power factor, it may not come for this year. So CBSE deleted this, and practically it is not deleted because this derivation is there. In numerical also, power factor can be asked. Or let us say power factor in numerical problem is not asked, but formula is simple here. But in this derivation, you have to write this down cos phi. This is power factor. So there might not be any confusion in this derivation. Power factor comes here, although this topic is deleted. Got it? If you know the formula, derivation of resistance, inductance. So this is the two parts. This is the part for resistance we have seen. This is the part for inductance, capacitance we have seen. And after this, after opening the bracket, this and this, the derivation integration, you know, this will become 0 and this part will become 0. Only this is there. So formula here for power average is in RMS, IRMS, cos phi. If you know this formula derivation, you know already formula power average in case of resistance, in case of inductance, in case of capacitance also. So you just learn this one, all the formula, all the derivation you know. Because without knowing the formula individually for resistance, inductance, capacitance, you cannot derive it. So this, learn this, write it, practice it at least 2-3 times, so that all the 4 derivation is now already you can learn it. You can say derive it individually also, in combination also. So it is my request you learn this for the combination, series RLC circuit, power average, at least twice thrice. So all the derivation you can learn easily. For this derivation, any doubt? This is the final formula for all the derivation. It comes here individually also, it comes by combination also. Just go through this, note down it correctly, and tell me if any doubt is there in this derivation. Because this is the final derivation, combination of all the three. Repeated 2-3 times. So learn this properly and practice it at least twice or thrice. If any doubt is there, or have you noted down this, let me proceed. Or should I wait? The AC generator and transformer. AC generator and transformer. AC generator, you are familiar with the AC generator in 10th class also, and transformer a little bit you know also, but in detail we will discuss. First, AC generator. AC alternating current generator. It means here we have to generate AC, and what is a generator here? In this mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. This is the generator. Motor current here or electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy. So motor and generator are just reciprocal reverse. So what is generator here? In this mechanical energy it's converted into electrical energy. This is the generator. What is the principle of this? Principle here is EMI, electromagnetic induction. It means this AC generator works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. What is electromagnetic induction as per the Faraday law? As per the Faraday law, if say with any conductor or coil, whatever shape, maybe rectangular, maybe of any shape, maybe circular, maybe rectangular, maybe of any hodgepodge shape, if the flux linkage there and there is a change in the flux linkage, induced EMF develops in the coil. If it is a closed circuit, induced current flows in the circuit. This is the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Got it? So on the basis of this electromagnetic induction, and say single line diagram for this is, say this is north pole and south pole of the magnetic field here. Lines of force are from north pole to south pole. Suppose here there is a rectangular coil we have taken, like say A, B, C, D. It can be rotated by this axis. This called axis of rotation. You can rotate it by turbine. It is not shown here. Let me tell you what is a turbine and how to rotate this armature or coil. For simplicity, we have taken the single turn, although there are number of turns are there. It is called armature. So this armature is connected with the shaft to the turbine. The turbine rotates, it also rotates. It means these conductor rotates. So because of this, induced EMF develop because of the flux change. And we know with this formula also, what is this? Induced EMF directly proportional to d phi by dt or and d phi by dt. Number of turns are more and more, induced EMF develops more and more. And here rate of change of flux linkage. So change must be very large. It means you can just imagine here This is a turbine. Let me tell you what is turbine. Suppose this is the water dam. The dam water definitely it is made at high level, and here at say down below maybe this height is sufficiently large, and there is the turbine of this shape. Let us say there is a shape here like this. There is a turbine, and there is the shaft here which is connected to this the turbine and is connected to the armature of this generator. So suppose by the gate control, if water is falling down on the turbine from a great height, it means this the MGH potential energy is very large because the height is very large. So dams are made there where height is sufficiently large and lot of water is there, lot of water is falling down. So a mass here is very large amount of water, say 1,000 gallons falling per second from a great height. So this potential energy is very large. It converts into what? Kinetic energy. Because of the velocity gained by this water here. And because of this, it rotates like this. It's the shape of turbine. If you are taking turbine like this, it rotates here like this, clockwise. So it is the construction of turbine on which part of the turbine water is falling down. It can be rotated either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Here anti-clockwise. And because of this dam water, these turbines are very large. Say it may be 3-4 times than size of the room, and speed is very large. You cannot imagine here 8,000 roughly to 10,000 rotations per minute is very high speed. That is why whenever we are generating electricity in mass, and these generators, hydroelectric power plants supplying the energy, electrical energy to sometimes 2 to 3 states. Just imagine. So this is the turbine here. In this discussion, turbine is not shown, but armature is rotated by the turbine, and turbine can be rotated either by falling water. It is called hydroelectrical power plants. If the turbine is rotated with say steam, it is called thermal power plants. It can be rotated manually also, but not on the large scale. It can be rotated using the diesel also, and nuclear energy also. So depending upon the how turbine rotates, we name it the power plant, like say nuclear power plant, like say thermal power plant, like say hydroelectric power plants, different like wind power plants like. So this armature is rotated. Let us take either clockwise or anti-clockwise. In this case, suppose AB, you can imagine, AB is going inward or maybe outward. If we look from the top, AB is going inward, means from top, you can say it is clockwise. And now CD is going in and AB is coming out, you can say it is anti-clockwise. If you see from the top, if you see from the bottom, it will be reverse. So let us discuss here. In this case, suppose AB is going inward. AB is going in and CD will come out left. You can take it reverse also, no problem. Suppose we are taking AB is going inside and CD is coming outside. You can find out the direction of induced current develops here by using the Fleming's right hand rule. Here the direction of magnetic field, so father, mother, the child, force, magnetic field and induced current here using the right hand rule. Suppose here we are taking the north to south, here this is the magnetic field and we are taken AB is going in, so this thumb is going or motion is inward. This middle finger will tell you the direction of current, so direction of current in AB is B to A using the right hand rule. Okay, you can find out the direction of this current, induced current, by using the right hand rule. Applying on AB part, this is the magnetic field, this is the force, and this is the current, induced current. If you are applying this same right hand rule in CD part, CD is coming out, so this motion is outward, and this is the magnetic field north to south, this is coming out, so direction of current is from D to C. Okay. After the half rotation, this AB part going like this, it will take the place of CD, and CD will take the place of BA. So after the half rotation, thing will be like this. Simply the CD part comes here and AB part comes here. Again, the sequence of rotation you cannot change. Every turbine is rotated. If you stop it, you stop the gate of this falling water or by any means, it will take so many rounds. It will take so many minutes also, because rotation is very large. You cannot stop it immediately. No, it is not possible, and you cannot change the direction. Either it is rotating clockwise or rotating the anti-clockwise, no problem. But you cannot stop it. You cannot change the direction. So direction of rotation must be same. It's same. So it means here now CD is going inward and AB coming outward. Here also you can find out the direction of induced current using the again right hand thumb rule. Here right hand, this is Fleming's right hand rule. Thumb force this magnetic field is current. So this is the current. It means here inside the generator, this is the sequence here, but sequence of current will be what? Here D, C, B, A, here A, B, C, D. So here it is AC. Let us discuss here how we are tapping the current. Tapping means how we are taking the current from this armature. There are number of turns in this armature, and A is connected with the ring. It is called a slip ring. Slip ring, ring number 1, and CD is connected to ring number 2. It is called slip ring 1 and 2. Slip ring number 1 is permanently connected with A part. This is the end, one end of this coil, and this ring 2 is permanently connected with D part permanently, and we are tapping the current by using the carbon brushes number 1 and number 2 like this. Here also A is permanently connected with ring number 1 and carbon brush B1, and D is permanently connected with ring number 2 and permanently this is B2 brush 2. Say these two, we are tapping the current like this in the external resistance. It is called load resistance. It is also connected with the load resistance here. Now see the sequence of current. Here in first part, sequence of current is DCBA. Is going to say current is going to from A to R1, ring number 1, and this is the brush 1. Here the load resistance current is flowing like this and like this and like this. So RL, V2, R2 and D. This is the sequence of current like this. So in this, current is flowing from left to right in the load resistance. Think about this. Sequence of current is A, B, C, D, and D is going to R2. Then R2 means this V2 here. There is a current in load resistance I, and then V1, R1. So this is the sequence of current. You can see in the load resistance, current is Moving from A to B, B means from left to right, you can say load resistance. And here, right to left, it means what? It is AC. So we are getting here AC. This is the AC output, current and voltage. With respect to time, is positive, negative, positive, negative. We are getting here AC in load resistance. So this is the working of AC generator. This is the working of AC generator. Any doubt in this? We have taken two parts. Half part for this, and after half rotation, this is the sequence of current just reverse here in the load resistance. We are getting the current from left to right, and after half rotation, just reverse right to left. That is why we are getting AC. Any doubt here? Okay. Now here, see, but the flux linkage can be written as BA cos theta, or BA cos theta means omega t. If number of turns are n, you can multiply it with n. So this is question 1 for flux linkage. Think about the induced EMF. Induced EMF can be written as minus d phi by dt means differentiation. So NBA cos omega t means what? Differentiation, not integration. Differentiation of cos omega t is what? Sin omega t. And minus, so it comes here sin omega t and multiplied with omega. What is the reason here? So minus here, it's because of this, minus comes here because of the differentiation, it will become plus. It can be written E naught sin omega t. What is E naught? E naught is the maximum value of EMF. And current can be written as E naught by R, or E by R, or E naught by R sin omega t. It can be written I naught sin omega t. So you can see here current and voltage, they are in phase, but there is a phase difference of 90 degrees because this is a cos function, this is a sin function. Cos and sin functions are 90 degrees apart in phase. So the phase difference between the flux and the induced EMF is 90 degrees, and the phase difference between flux and the current is also 90 degrees. It means we can say whenever suppose angle is 0, so cos 0 means maximum value. If we say the flux here, the current here, or voltage here, if it is 0, it is maximum. It is maximum, it is 0. So you can say in AC, it is the 0 angle, it is the 90 degree, it is the 180 degree, it is the 270 degree, it is the 360 degree. So flux and the current, they are just different. Because of the cos sin function, if this is maximum, this is 0, this is 0, this is maximum. So phase difference is 90 degree between the flux and the voltage or current. Got it?